I used to think nothing could shake my beliefs, nothing could ever make me question the life I had always known, but what happened to me changed everything, and I mean everything in a way I still struggle to put into words. My name is Salma, and this is not just a story, this is my life. This is the moment everything I believed, everything I trusted, everything I thought was unshakable, began to fall apart. I was living in Tunis, surrounded by routine, tradition, and expectations. My life was simple, structured, and predictable. I woke up every day knowing exactly who I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to believe. I wasn't searching for anything new. I wasn't looking for truth. I thought I already had it. But sometimes, truth finds you when you're not even looking for it. It started with whispers, quiet, uneasy whispers that spread through our neighborhood like a shadow you couldn't escape. People spoke in low voices, glancing around as if even the walls were listening. They talked about women, women I knew, women who were once respected, quiet, devoted, and suddenly they had changed. At first, I rejected it. I refused to even consider it. The idea sounded dangerous, almost offensive. I told myself it was lies, deception, something meant to confuse people. But deep inside, something didn't sit right. One day I saw one of them, Amina. I remember that moment so clearly, the way she stood there, almost too calm. There was something different about her, something I couldn't explain. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't ashamed. She looked free. That disturbed me more than anything. When I asked her what had happened, she didn't argue, she didn't defend herself, she just looked at me with a kind of peace that made my heart uneasy and said something I will never forget. There are moments in life when truth finds you, and when it does, you must decide whether to run from it or follow it, no matter the cost. That sentence stayed with me, it echoed in my mind long after she walked away. That night, everything began. I fell asleep, but it didn't feel like sleep. It felt like I had stepped into something deeper, something beyond a normal dream. I found myself walking down a narrow street, silent, completely silent. No voices, no movement, just emptiness that felt heavy, almost suffocating. There were doors on both sides, some open, some closed. I don't know why, but I felt drawn to one. When I opened it, my heart stopped. Inside were people, but they weren't alive, not really. They were standing still, eyes open, but empty, like they were alive on the outside but completely dead inside. I stepped back in fear, and then felt it, presence. I couldn't see clearly, but I knew I wasn't alone. And in that moment, everything inside me was exposed. It wasn't like someone speaking to me with words, it was deeper than that, like truth being placed directly into my heart. I saw my life, not just what I did, but why I did it. The pride, the fear, the blind following, the times I ignored questions because I was too afraid to ask. I felt broken, completely broken. And then I understood something that changed me forever. That truth is not something you inherit, it's something you encounter. And when you encounter it, you can't pretend you didn't see it. Then I saw light. Brighter, but peaceful. It called to me, it pulled me forward. But fear rose inside me. Fear of losing everything, fear of what people would say, fear of what it would cost. And the moment I stepped toward it, everything around me shook, doors slammed, noise filled the silence like something was trying to stop me. Then I woke up. My heart was racing, my body shaking, and I knew that was not just a dream. From that day, nothing felt normal anymore. I tried to go back to my routine, but something inside me had shifted. I began to see things differently, question things I had never questioned before. And the more I tried to ignore it, the stronger it became. When I met Amina again, she looked at me and simply asked, "Did you see something?" I couldn't even speak. I just nodded. She didn't look surprised. This is how it begins. Days passed, and I found myself drawn into something I couldn't explain. I met with her and the other women, secretly, carefully. They didn't force anything on me. They didn't argue or try to convince me. They just shared their experiences. Dreams, encounters, moments where everything they believed was shaken. And I realized, I wasn't alone. What I experienced wasn't isolated. It was real. And it was happening to others too. But the deeper I went, the harder my life became. At home, things started to change. It was peace. And not the kind of peace you pretend to have, the kind that unsettles others, because it feels real. She looked at me, and instead of avoiding me, she greeted me gently. I wanted to confront her. I wanted to question her, to challenge her. But when I opened my mouth, the words changed. Instead of accusation, I asked, "What happened to you?" She paused, looked at me, and said something that changed everything. There are moments in life when truth finds you even when you are not looking for it, and when it does, you must decide whether to run from it or follow it, no matter the cost. Then she looked at me deeply and said, "You will understand soon." Those words followed me home, into my room, into my thoughts, into my sleep. And that night, everything changed. I didn't dream like I usually did. This was different. I found myself in a place that felt real, more real than anything I had experienced. A narrow street, empty, silent, lifeless. Doors on both sides, some open, some closed. And something inside me pushed me to open one. When I did, what I saw broke me. People standing still, eyes open, but empty. Alive, but not alive. Moving, but lifeless. And suddenly, I understood something without anyone explaining it. That this was not just them. This was me. That realization hit me so deeply. I wanted to run, but I couldn't move. I felt a presence. Not behind me, not beside me, but around me. It didn't speak in words, but I understood everything. My life began to unfold before me, not just what I did, but why I did it. The pride, the blind following, the moments I silenced truth inside me. I felt exposed, but not condemned. And then I saw light, not like sunlight, brighter, pure, alive. And something inside me wanted to move toward it. But fear held me back. Fear of losing everything. Fear of what people would say. Fear of the unknown. The moment I stepped forward, everything shook. Doors slammed, noise erupted, resistance rose. And then I woke up, breathing heavily, shaking, fully awake. And I knew that was not just a dream. That was an encounter. From that moment, my life divided into two parts. Before and after. I began to see everything differently, the routines, the conversations, even my own prayers. Like I had been speaking without understanding. Then the encounters continued. Not always as dreams, sometimes as a deep knowing, sometimes as a presence I could feel but not see. Until one day it happened. The moment I cannot forget, the moment that changed everything forever. I was alone, praying, but not in the way I used to. For the first time, I spoke honestly. No repetition, no structure, just my heart. I said, "If this is truth, show me. I am ready to know, even if it costs me everything." And in that moment, I didn't see him the way we see people, but I knew. The presence became overwhelming, but not in fear, in peace. A peace so deep it broke me. And then I heard it, not with my ears, but inside me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. When those words came, something inside me shattered. Not in pain, but in release. I began to cry, uncontrollably, deeply. Years of confusion, fear, emptiness, lifted. And for the first time in my life, I felt known. Completely known. I understood in that moment that truth is not a system, not a tradition, not something passed down. Truth is a person. Jesus. Everything became clear. Not all at once, but enough that I could not deny it. The emptiness I'd carried was gone. The fear replaced with peace. The confusion replaced with clarity. But the cost? The cost became real. My home changed. My marriage was shaken. My family didn't understand. People talked, judged, distanced themselves. There were nights I cried, not because I doubted, but because I felt the weight of what I lost. But even in those moments, that peace never left me. That presence never abandoned me. And I realized something powerful. When you truly encounter Jesus, you don't just change beliefs. You become alive. And now, I cannot stay silent, because I know there are people watching this right now, feeling the same emptiness I once felt, asking silent questions, afraid to seek answers. And if he found me, he can find you. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to have perfect words. Just be honest. Call out to him, and he will meet you, right where you are. If this story touched you, even a little, don't ignore it. Let it stir something inside you. And I ask you, not as a creator, but as someone who has experienced this. Like this video, not for me, but so this message can reach someone else who is searching in silence. Comment below, share your thoughts, your struggles, your own testimony, because your voice might be the answer someone else is praying for. And please, subscribe, so more of these stories, real stories, life-changing encounters, can reach people who need them. You are not alone. Truth is not far. And Jesus is still revealing himself. Even today. Even now. Even to you.